Welcome back to What's Brewin. I'm Michael Brewin. Joining me now is the Special Assistant County Executive Ike Leggett. She is the Asian and Middle Eastern Liaison, and her name is Lily Chi. And Lily, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on. Now, tell me a little bit about this. I mean, people may not be aware of this, except maybe within the particular communities, but there are liaisons who have direct access to Ike.
That's right.
Explain that a little bit.
Well, under County Executive Ike Leggett, we have several community liaisons, each working primarily with a major cultural cluster within Montgomery County. So we have an African American and a faith community liaison, we have a Latino Hispanic liaison, and I am the Asian and Middle Eastern liaison. And we also have a Caribbean and African immigrant liaison.
Oh, cool.
Yes, yes.
And tell me a little bit about your background. I mean, you've been very active.
Oh, thank you.
I read the resume, so I know, but they don't, Mom and Pa Kettle don't know. So.
Well, there's no better place to be a Chinese and Asian American than here and now in Montgomery County. I'm really excited to do what I'm doing. I grew up in Shanghai, China, and I'm an adult immigrant. Like most immigrants in this country, I went through cultural and linguistic barriers. I very much can identify with the struggles of new immigrants. It took me about 20 years to get to this point of cultural and linguistic proficiency. So I am passionate about what I do to connect with new communities.
And what brought you to, did you come to Montgomery County originally?
No, this is the 4th state I have lived in, and this is the best place.
Where were you before?
I'm proud to be part of this community, really.
Where were you before?
When I first came here, I landed in the middle of nowhere in a small town called North Manchester, Indiana.
Indiana? Was that for school or
for
something?
school, that's right, yes. I ended up staying in school for so long that I got 2 master's degrees. I didn't know what to do with my life. And without legal, without a green card or something, you couldn't really find a job. So you became a student forever in order to avoid becoming an illegal alien, right? That's what immigrant stories are.
So you really do understand this. I mean, you bring all of that experience with you. And with Montgomery County, we're the largest ESOL community in the state of Maryland. People don't understand that there's so many languages being spoken.
Nearly half of the immigrant population of Maryland resides in Montgomery County, and about fully one third of our population is foreign born today. And this is a critical time in our community to understand what it means to have this population, to take advantage of that. And that's why I'm passionate about doing what I do. I work primarily with the Asian and Middle Eastern communities, but many of the issues I work with are kind of cut across many different communities.
They do, but that just seems to me that's a wide berth.
Yes, it is.
With so many, the Muslim community as well as the Asian community. It's
probably the community combined between Asian and Middle Easterns. Cultures, it covers about half of the globe, and it's probably the most diverse in terms of religious, linguistic, cultural, and ethnic diversity. And because of the high level of diversity, it's harder for us to reach out to these communities and connect with them. And so a major part of my job is to bring government closer to them and bring them closer to government. So I inform communities by using ethnic media and identify opinion leaders and organization leaders to let them take ownership of certain pieces of information so they can help relate to the communities and help us do what we do.
But you and I were talking beforehand, and I think the perspective that you mentioned that I really want people to be aware of hearing you say that on the show is it's not just government services and how can we do things. You had such a passion in your description. Tell me about the other side. It's not me. You were talking about this.
Well, my job is to is to inform, involve, and empower communities. And it's not just meeting their needs. It's also to take their suggestions and ideas to make ourselves better as a community, to take advantage of this great asset we have, which is the well-educated global population in Montgomery County, to take ourselves to the next century or beyond, to position ourselves well as a knowledge-based, innovation-driven community.
And an asset is what you were saying when we were talking
capital,
beforehand.
Right. The human capital and all of the other ingredients that make a Montgomery.
The education that comes, the perspectives that come.
That's right.
And in fact,
the connections they have with their home countries.
Correct.
Right.
And what you were saying is it's as much you're informing the government as much as you're informing the communities. This may be the services, but you're also a conduit for these communities to be able to have an influence on government.
And a great example is what the County Council recently passed, called the Great Seneca Science Corridor Master Plan. When I first heard the presentation, I immediately jumped on that. I said, this is exactly what Montgomery County should be. This is the kind of place I want to live in. And I introduced the concept to some of the immigrant communities who it just went viral. You know, they took it upon themselves to talk to the council members, and this is what we want. This is job opportunities, contracting opportunities for us, for our children. This is something I can brag about on my international business trips.
Correct.
This is why I came here to begin with. We need to do more of this.
Correct.
You know, and we are no longer a commuting town for federal workers. We have our own identity, and we need to promote it by positioning ourselves as a biotech leader, and these are the people we need to take us there.
That's true. You also, I think, you do have a value in helping people who may be coming who are new. I mean, another thing we were talking about beforehand was that you know, the immigrant community comes, and sometimes depending on your age, you know, the kids somehow melt pretty easily.
Right.
But if you're coming as an adult, you were a young adult, but as older adults come, it's very
Seniors,
difficult.
Right, and people with limited English proficiency are the people who are most vulnerable. In this country, if you don't drive and don't speak good English, you don't enjoy the quality of life and the freedom as Americans.
What can we do?
So,
what can we do for them? What do we do?
So by connecting, building relationships with community leaders and faith groups and nonprofits, we help them connect with one another and connect with the government resources and services, so they don't have to reinvent the wheel. We support them by funding the nonprofits that are doing great jobs serving their own communities in their own languages, doing what government cannot do in a more cost-effective manner. And that's part of what we do, to connect them, to be the bridge with one another and with the government.
Correct. And I know, we were talking, my sister-in-law's Korean, and when her mom came, there's a very strong Korean and Chinese community here in Montgomery County. But it takes a while sometimes for people to get connected.
Yeah. Well, the interesting dynamic within these communities is each of the ethnic community is highly vibrant and organized in their own ways. But because of that, there's also a certain level of isolation. There's not much interaction among themselves or with other communities or with government. And so part of my job is to connect with one another as well. And you touched upon an issue that I want to elaborate a little bit on, which is language access. You know, serving the most vulnerable, whether it's Asian, Latino, or Black population from the immigrant communities. We're talking about people who are still learning English. Yes, youth population has institutions that help them learn English, but the older population, whether working age or beyond, the seniors who are not in the integrated working community, where are they going to go to get help? We want to make sure that people who do not speak much English or are still learning do not get shut out of critical information and services. That's why the county executive signed the executive order on language access just earlier this year in March, to make sure we have more consistent, we deliver more consistently high quality services to people who don't speak much English. They're called limited English proficient individuals.
If people wanted to get more information, is there sort of a main number, or I guess they could go to the county website, but yes, how would people get more information?
Well, we have an office website, which is montgomerycountymd.gov/partnerships.
Oh, good.
Yes, and it has demographic information, community liaison contact information, including my information.
Okay.
Yeah, so people are welcome to check it out. And we have a special website just for language access. It's montgomerycountymd.gov/LEP. Yeah,
LEP.
Which is limited English proficiency.
Got it.
Yes.
Got it. Well, I really appreciate you coming on the show and giving us a little bit of your time and the passion. I mean, you're a great spokesperson.
Well, this is a great time to bundle up all the community energy and to channel in the direction that's most beneficial for Montgomery County. You know, so it's a global, local connection that makes me so excited every day.
You're a great advocate. I don't think just for that particular community. I think for everyone. So.
For everyone.
Well, Lily, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for watching. That's it for this edition of What's Brewin'. We'll see you next time.